let's get into this lesson. Which downtrend breaks to take and which not to take. Couple of ingredients that go into this pattern and this setup and what to be looking for in my opinion. And especially when you're dealing with, say, downtrend breaks below the VWAP, which you're in a bearish state. So right now, this is going to be a prettier one. The first thing you're looking for, a lot of touches. The more touches and the tighter that trend, because you can come in down here too as well, right? And put a resistance line in, or if you want to, you can start it up here. Regardless, we're touching. Up top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Finally, that's a lot of touches. And then on top of the fact, you got about 40 minutes there. It's over 30 minutes, which is a good trend. You can see a solid trend here. It's tight. It's a nice tight channel. The next thing I'm always looking for besides touches, a nice tight channel. It's got some length on it. It's 30 minutes or longer. And I'll give this lesson eventually is the angle, the degree of angle of these trends, right? And so I'll just kind of make this smaller and so that we know we're looking at just this picture, which I wish I could make it bigger. Can I make it bigger? Can I make it bigger? I can. Cool. And I need to get it like an overlay. So we know if I put this in and we kind of look at the degree of angle over here on this play, as my cat starts to sneeze behind us, that degree is at least right around 30 degrees, right at 30 degrees. Maybe it's a little bit lower, right? It's like hard to tell where that's at. So I need to get an overlay, but it's could be 20, could be 30. It's not 30. It's probably right around between 20 and it's between 20 and 30. That's what you want. Anything between 20 and 30 degrees here. And I know it's like, again, I wish there was some overlay of a protractor that you could have on your stock trading setup, your brokerage. But this is what you're looking for. If you get over 30, and I'm going to show you one, and you get to like 40 into over 30 to 40, close to 50, it's going to be a lot harder to get back up on that downtrend break back to those levels. It's going to be much easier to attain anywhere from here to here. Getting all the way back up to here and here, very less likely. The second or third thing besides degree of angle that I wanted to show you, first would be the touches, right? Touch. Want to see a lot of touches. Secondly was what? The angle. With the touches, we'll go ahead and add the length in there. So touches and length, the angle. The third thing you'll notice on this is a W shape, right? If we zoom out, you can really see the W now starting to take form. Now this side of the W, not so great, not so pretty. Or sometimes as we call them, booty cheeks, right? This butt went to truly somewhere down south to get the Brazilian butt job. Now this is a very nice U. We'll don't kind of not think about that this is a very choppy U, but it is a double U. And again, if we go out to larger time frames, it makes it a little less ugly. But you see the W. The key about this W and why I'm bringing it up is that the right-hand side of the W, when the right-hand side is higher than the left-hand side, you'll see usually a better move up and more continuation, and you can work your way back into resistance areas like VWAP or this area where we failed, and again, this is where we failed. So you at least get profitability out of it into an area. Those are the main key ingredients of what we're looking for in a nice downtrend break that's at least below the VWAP. If you're looking for something below the VWAP, you would love it to have a very nice tight channel with a lot of touches over 30 minutes long. The degree of angle is 30 degrees or less. And you have a W shape, which just now happens to happen, where the right-hand side W, where you break, is higher than the left-hand side, leading to some good continuation. Now, a play that's not so pretty below the VWAP, and where traders will try to come in and put downtrend lines in. I was actually going over this that aren't that long. There's not a lot of touches. Where do you start it at? High of day and try to put it in there. Start it in here. You're trying to get as many touches as possible. You just won't get that many. Even if you adjust this to right there on the high of day and pull this up a little bit, right? You're trying to, now you're only touching here and here. You're never touching again, right? You get my point. So when you finally break, now let's go to besides just the touches. And you can already see that this break wasn't great. Even though, again, we'll say 40 after to when the break happens, 25 after, that's over 30 minutes. It's about the same length as the last one we were just looking at. Didn't lead to a great result or even to the VWAP, let alone over it back up to that level where we could fail like we did before. Let's go to the degree of angle yet again. I'll pull this out. Right here. Come down. Make this smaller. There we go. That's pretty sharp. That's definitely over 30. Yeah, it's over 30. It's probably working into like the 35. It's in between 30 and 40, right? It's a much steeper downtrend, right? You know, if you go between Apple, you go to ARM, and you want to kind of start it from the beginning of the day, you can see this one's I say a lot less steep, but it's not nearly as steep as that one. Yeah, it's pretty apparent right from right there which one's more steep. Got to pay attention to those things. There's no W here. Even if there was, this side's higher than this side if you want to count that as a W, and that is a hideous W, again, compared to this. And even if you go to a 5-minute time frame to make them prettier, at least that one. Let's go back to Apple. You don't even see really a W there. So those are some of the main things you need to be looking for if you're looking for a downtrend break below the VWAP where it's in a bearish state already. Is you need a lot of touches over 30 minutes of a trend, right? You're going to go, let's go back and look at ARM again so you can grain this into the brain. Over 30 minutes long, working into 45 minutes. It's got a lot of touches. Nice tight channel. The degree of angle is less than 30 degrees. And then another check mark you get a W shape with this side being higher, which then I'll get into that lesson over and over and over. Then you go back over to Apple and go, that's not nearly, and especially if you zoom in from when that downtrend break happened, not nearly the same downtrend right through there, right? And then yet again, if you want to try to put more lines in and even just move this over and go, okay, well, we got more touches. A little bit more, right? Or whatever. Now you're working how many tiers below the VWAP is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times we try to bounce, have not on any of these occasions fully bounced. Don't take that. That is not a good downtrend. Now, real quickly, which I'll get into, a good one above the VWAP. Let's go into the SPY right here. Nice, tight channel vortex. Let's put this up one last time for us all. Shouldn't have ever X'd out of it. Now I had to come back to it twice. Make this small. Go back up. What degree of angle is that? It's definitely less than 30 degrees. You know, that's probably working at 20 or less. That's probably between 15 and 20, right? A lot of touches. Boop, 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 boop. And then we get the break. At least more touches. You got a nice tight like support area. Boop, 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 boop. You can easily see that, right? It's a much cleaner channel. Let's look at the length of it. 45 after. By the time we finally do break, almost 45 after. That's an hour long. Lots of touches. It's got length. It's got a perfect degree of angle. Right around that 20 to 15 is beautiful, typically, for a very good move. And you get a very good move. Remember this, and I'll go through more. But this is essentially, will be, one clip, one slide, one stock, one ticker after another, showing you. You just go back to the last 3 I showed you. All about touches, all about length, all about that degree of angle. And then if you have some added help with it, like that W shape, right, or whatever it might be, then that usually will lead to a better move. Hope that helps you out and what to be looking for in downtrend breaks, especially below the VWAP.